is a sidebar because I was reading up on you, Ms. Hayes, and I did see that you wrote a book titled 400 Days, Chronicles of a Soldier and His Wife During Deployment. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Could you tell us about that book?
So I started writing a travel log. So when my husband got deployed, he was a commander for the Kosovo independence back in 2007. And writing has always been my passion. So it started out being a travel blog for me because I was over in Europe with my daughter. I was not command sponsored. As the military goes, we thought we'd see each other more because he would have NATO meetings in Heidelberg. So I lived in Dusseldorf, where my brother-in-law lived. And that didn't happen. So within the first month, Kosovo becomes a hot zone. So I never got to leave Kosovo and never came to Heidelberg for those monthly meetings, right? So I learned to travel and everything. But I think the best part of that book that happened was, as I was blogging it, and this was years ago when Amazon was into blogs. I mean, I'm probably predating y'all. So my husband came back and his reintegration was not good. It was a bad experience. And so the best thing for me to do was be able to write about it. So I extended the book into writing about his reintegration and a bunch of other service members' reintegrations and the things that our guardsmen were going through, because it was different. I mean, for service members to come back and then go back to work for the employer and just think that everything was hunky-dory and stuff like that, it didn't work out. So interestingly enough, somebody was following me on that Amazon press board, and I didn't write for a couple of days, and they're like, "You've got to publish this. Let us publish this." So that's how it all started. And he was going through some pretty difficult transition issues, and I didn't write for like a week. And they actually reached out to me, and they're like, "You've got to finish this. You got to finish this." So what once turned out to be a travel blog, which apparently I'm not very good at writing, turned into be a story about what happens to our service members when they go out and then come back in, particularly for the Guard and Reserve members who aren't used to that. That wasn't necessarily, I don't want to say it's not what they signed up for. Of course, it's what they signed up for, but it all became, the op tempo became so fast. And I think the families that were left behind were taken off by Guard. It was just kind of like, wait, you're going to do what? You're going to go away for 400 days? Wait, what? And so I think it just helped bring attention to what Guard families went through. We're kind of pros at it now, but it was my way of contributing to helping people relate to what our National Guard families were going through.
Okay, so it seems like you all, of course, have poured a lot into this population. And you ever heard the phrase, like, sometimes you're pouring, or you feel like, or sometimes well, I know personally, I've experienced sometimes we're pouring, and then I end up feeling like, oh gosh, I'm pouring from an empty cup. So did you feel like at any point during that time where you were facing your challenges, did you have the support that you needed?
Hard to say. I think you find it in a different way. Because I wasn't on a military base and I wasn't affiliated with the active component, you find it in a different way. I had support through my family. Afterwards, I think that's probably why I threw myself into family programs. I started working originally a long time ago with Blue Star Families and then family programs, tried to create a program here in Illinois called the Family Support Brigade. It was to make sure that no family felt like they didn't have some support.
That's awesome. And Miss Melissa, do you have any? Because I also read up on you as well, but I did read that you started off as a volunteer and you kind of got, kind of dived more into it, and you're part of the program more so now. What was it? Any challenges that you faced, or was there you just volunteering and saw the need? What was the turning point for you to say, I no longer want to volunteer, like I want to really be an intricate part of this organization?
Oh, well, I would say the challenges with every PCS my husband did for his 26-year career, and the challenges I saw with trying to find a job. I actually have a background in the medical field, and you would think it'd be easy to find a job, right? No. Some of the small towns, because my husband did a recruiting stint for the Army. Some of the small towns that we went to, no jobs. So I started volunteering actually when I didn't work. So it started out as a volunteer. I was actually helping with the guard side. I was assisting with the Recon program, which is the program that assists our ROTC cadets in all the universities across the United States, Guam, and Puerto Rico. So that's kind of my little passion, is, you know, helping out our younger generations. So it just started from there, and they, you know, I guess they liked what I did, how I interacted with people, you know, and assisted. So they brought me aboard. And military has always been my passion. My family back home, I have a lot of great uncles, cousins that are military, have served in the military. So it's just in my blood. And I love doing it.
That's awesome.
That's why the 1% never changes, right, Melissa? It's always the same family. It's just more generations of each family who joins the military.
Absolutely.
Awesome.